I use collaboration in my course for sure. It's used quite heavily in the business school, and marketing is no exception. We probably are one of the heavier users of collaborative student learning. And so I have a group project that runs throughout the term, deliverables along the way. And so I teach a similar course in a face-to-face format, non-flex, and I've taught it in the Commerce minor program as also in the main Commerce degree program. And I always have this team deliverable. It really reflects what it's like in the business world. Take a core deliverable, something, a skill or an activity or just a knowledge base that they must have, and apply it to their field of interest, something of their choice. And then sharing that with other students, so finding ways to have peer review, peer discussion, peer feedback, peer questioning, allows them to also share new perspectives with other students who might have yet different perspectives or different interest areas. So in the course, in the flex format, bringing that back to this project, was looking for ways to get students engaging with each other. So pretty standard to use things like discussion boards, but discussion boards can be one way, where students are just posting their thoughts and then they disappear from the discussion board and look for their next assignment. So what I build in is where they have to post by a certain time, they have to come back and read and find a different perspective and engage with that and start a discussion. When you go into an online world where there isn't that actually physically moderated, I can walk around the room and have a private conversation with each group quite easily, have to build that in. And so I built some of the discussion activities or weekly activities where they had to go and do research, physically go and visit a store, for example. I had them do that in their project teams. So what it does in a commerce minor course, when you have students from all over campus or students who are on work term, co-op terms with their various degrees, it adds a level of complexity. There's scheduling challenges for sure, but it wasn't a barrier for the students. It's something that they knew up front they'd have to do, and so they found a way to do it. But in the online format, I would have some of the discussions set up, unique group discussion boards where they could hash things out as a team before they had to post to the class-wide discussion board. They could have a unified discussion. Or some of the activities I designed where each team member was assigned a piece and they would come and deliver it in the discussion forum, or bring it to class having worked on it as a team through whatever online communication tools they wanted to use. So collaboration is a big part of it. I think that I don't like to work in a vacuum. I love working with other people, and so that's how I build it into it. It's just more complex in an online format. You have to plan, I think, a bit better for how you're going to support the students in that. I also use a tool, iPeer, and I let them know in advance, these are the deliverables in the course, and I do make use of iPeer. It's a way for you to be constructive, but I coach them a lot before we release the iPeer survey to say it has to focus on effort. We can't look at skill bases because you come from such different backgrounds. You have to really evaluate each other on effort, and reminding them of that carrot, of the fact that their peers will be evaluating their contributions to the project, and using that then as a way to track and see if there are problems and resolve any issues. It's usually after the fact that comes into play, but it's rare that we have any problems like that. And then really just the collaboration comes from making sure, or facilitating the collaboration comes from making sure everyone's clear. We have chances in class to ask questions. As I say, I use some of the activities, the discussion activities throughout the week, or field trip type activities throughout the week. I assign certain ones that should be done in their project teams if it is an activity that will move them forward in their group project. Then it's a perfect chance for them to practice as a team, to go and do the activity or do the discussion together, use it as a way to move forward their project and make it easier to complete. When students first learned that there would be a group project in this course, that the teams would be assigned, and so they would be working with students from different faculties from all over campus in different types of workloads and class loads, there's always a bit of nervousness, of tension. But that same nervousness happens, I see, even in commerce courses where students, they very quickly get used to the fact they're going to be doing a lot of group work. There's always a bit of nervousness. Who am I going to be working with, and what's it going to be like? But so there's a bit of nervousness, but right off the bat, I get the students together and get them talking to each other, get significant amount of time, get them doing, I actually have my students do a team charter where they discuss their different skills and backgrounds, their resources, their interests. They fill out an actual worksheet, and then they make a commitment to certain ground rules, and they all sign it. And it's like a contract with themselves. I don't grade it. It's not. I do look at it, but it's not. It's something that it's a commitment with each other that I've learned they need to actually be encouraged in a structured way to discuss these things, so that we can get it out there before they get working. And they actually jump into that exercise quite wholeheartedly as a way to very quickly establish who's going to assume what roles. We can talk about who might not be available at certain times and who's going to pick up more of the workload at certain times, and have it all balance out.